and we start saying, no, God is in you. You know, it's you to do it. But he does it through you. He's doing it, but it's you, he, she, it. Even that was traumatizing to say God is it. Oh my God. They had to work through that, you know. There's a lot of stuff this teaching creates, you have to work through. So I'm going to have to do the wrap-up, so I guess I better not go there. The classes, as everybody's made it clear, are, you can come in here every Sunday and hear this stuff and go like, yeah, I believe that, I believe that. The classes teach you to incorporate it in your life so you live it. And it deconstructs you. It breaks things down. It takes you to your story and helps you to see life without the story. So that's essential, earnest, and roots. Take them.
I do want to say that classes are for everyone. There are accredited classes and there are non-accredited classes. The Mind-Body Connection one is a non-accredited class. So there's different levels, different types of classes. Mind-Body is accredited now? Excuse me. They're all accredited. No, there are a lot of non-accredited classes. At this point, we're going to move into our panel, and Sandy Forrest is going to be our moderator. It's an opportunity for you to ask questions, make comments, and Nadir has the microphone. I would ask you, when you get the microphone, it is not yours. So we want to make sure a lot of people get a chance to talk.
Oh, good morning. I want to do something before we start the questions because I want to take us back to context. This committee was formed. It's an educational committee, but it's really a committee that hopes to open everyone up to spiritual principles and an understanding of them in their lives. We have on, I think, every time we've given some type of presentation, we have reprinted the principles. Many of you have gotten them and they look like this. Right now, many of the chairs have in the back pockets a trifold of these same principles. So does everybody have a copy of that? And there's some back there on the back table and the reason I bring this up again is because I really want we're going to read these principles, not the whole thing, just the principle themselves. And I think that for understanding the rest of the information in the other columns that explains those principles is there for you to get a greater understanding of them. But I want us to read these right now. And I want us to read them because they are the context in which we live. They provide us the context for our life. When we say discover the life your soul is seeking, in what way do you do that? What do you believe? And we're going to read this because when the panel answers your questions, and if there are practitioners who want to add something to that, please do. But I want you to think about what your questions are in relationship to the principles. I also, when you're asking these questions, I want you to think about what is it that I don't understand about these principles. Do you get where I'm going with this? Okay. And I want you to think about where in my life can I make the connection between that I don't understand and that which can be supported through this community, not just in classes, but through this community. And I also want you to think about, in the context of these principles, what is holding you back? What's holding you back from going deeper? Okay? So let's start with principle number 1. We believe in God, the living Spirit, Almighty, one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be obtained by all. We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. We believe in the healing of the sick and the control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We believe our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God. Where are these principles operating in your life? Now, do we have questions from our panel? Safe place, everybody.
My question is, how did any of you make practitioners one of your tools or one of your sources? Practitioners, meditation, how did you use those things and how did they help you?
I use a practitioner. Is this on? I use a practitioner, which is extremely helpful. I actually just had a session on Friday evening. It's very empowering. You may start talking about something, but the practitioner seems to bring out more than you thought you wanted to talk about and get you to see things deeper. I also meditate. I meditate every day. I didn't used to do that. I meditate more than once a day, and I actually attend a meditation class with a group once a month. Meditation is very, very, very powerful.
Thank you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the year, I found myself facing the new year with trepidation and anxiety, and I wanted to meet with a practitioner, and it came to be that Jerry was the one that was available that day, and Jerry was wonderful. I immediately felt relief. And then she said, "Can I share this with the practitioner group?" And I said, "Yes, sure." Get them all praying for me, putting them, whatever the practitioners do, I don't know, but they get together and they treat. And I found that there was a remarkable lifting of this, this heaviness that is depression. And it seemed quite miraculous to me. So just knowing that I have that as a resource is a wonderful thing. So I urge you all to go ahead and try and work with our practitioners when you have these challenges.
Anyone else?
And on to that note, I just wanted to say that this is Practitioner Month, and next Sunday we will be handing out gold coins for a free half-hour session for the practitioner of your choice. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Right here.
Yes, the things that you ladies are talking about today are very connected to how I've been feeling lately. I've had some medical problems, and I couldn't figure out where they came from. But then something told me this past week that I need to get back into my morning prayers, my morning conversation with God. I mean, I would do it, but I wouldn't do it for the period of time that I used to do it. It's like do it, run away, do something else, and, maybe come back, maybe not. But I'm glad that I was able to come today, because I realize now from listening to you, you talk about your different situations, that I need to start again with the things that I learned years ago when I was in class, starting out in class. Reverend Sheila taught me foundation and a couple of other classes before she passed. And this conversation that we're having today makes me know that I need to take a couple of more classes. So thank you.
I just want to add to that. I don't come often because of my work schedule. So, but when I do come, I get all the hugs, I get all the love, and no one ever says to me, "Where you been?" It's all about, it's just happy that you're here. So when I got the text about this presentation, I was excited because I hadn't been in a while. And sometimes we get off track, we get off track, and then we get these text reminders that it's time to get back on track. So I hadn't even looked at my material in a while. I couldn't find my folder. So I was like, oh my God, what did I do? What does this stuff mean? So, we're all on course. We ebb and we flow. And, but I'm just grateful that today was a reminder for you. It's also a reminder for me to just get back into it.
Zuma.
So Callista, her question was involving not only practitioners, but other practices as well. We have a number of spiritual tools. Priscilla mentioned meditation. Do any of you use any of the other spiritual tools in your daily life, in your daily walk?
Yeah, so meditation is probably the thing that I've been doing the longest in terms of just quiet time, listening. And that's the way I view meditation. All of the answers come to me when I'm quiet, when I'm still. But I've also been doing some Rita and I have been talking about sound healing, yoga. I'm a Reiki master, so I do self-Reiki. Nadir just introduced us to Qigong a couple weeks ago. So there's a number of things that I think the connection, it's all to really start paying attention to your thoughts and just realize that connection, that there is a connection between your thoughts and what shows up in your body. And, you know, when I pay attention, you know, I used to often get stomach upsets. And I know that that's emotions that I'm stuffing down, that I'm not dealing with. And so the mindfulness and just being consciously aware of what you're doing, what you're thinking, so that you can, you know, start to affect some change in your life and make some positive changes.
When you were mentioning tools, one of the other things that is very helpful to me is reading. And when Reverend Tawana is giving a message and she names a book and the pages, to really maybe pick up that book. You know, read that and read other spiritual books that is connected to us, you know, as far as Science of Mind and Center of Peace. And also speak to other people about what they're reading, the people that are thinking the same thoughts that you're thinking and are like mind, like you. Because if you come here on Sunday and you listen to the message and you get all those good, fuzzy feelings, I can tell you, if you're really, really honest with yourself, they're not taking you through the week. So you need to put the meditation, the practitioners, the reading, the prayers, you have to do it every day, because that way it stays with you.
Can I just add to that? So I'm not good at meditating. My mind is always, always, always moving. But what I do is I try to get near some water, whether it's, you know, find a creek in my neighborhood. I live in Overbrook, and believe it or not, there's a nice clean creek in Overbrook. So I go down there and I put my feet in the water and let my feet touch the rocks. It works in the summertime, but even in the winter, I try to get near some water just so it can just move through my spirit, move through my system, move through my body. Because what works for one may not work for every. I've tried meditation, I've tried yoga. I like the idea of yoga, but yoga does not like me. So, you know, so I just jump on the treadmill and try to get some of that energy out. But I do believe that reading is very, very key. You know, just keep, and it's not, you know, large books. It's just small affirmations, just reading something to remind you that God is within and that whatever you put out comes back. So just be mindful.
I am a lover of reading as well, and that's my practice because Rita turned me on to the Insight timer that you put on your phone, and then I changed phones. My phone broke, and then it's not there, and I haven't reloaded it. Maybe this is some sort of avoidance, I don't know. But what I do, before I came here, I was lucky enough about 8 years ago to discover, God bless you, child. Whoa, that was a time, ouch. About 9 years ago, I discovered Course in Miracles, and they have a program which is 365 days. You can read something every day, and I love to do that. It's relatively quick and easy, but the amazing thing, and this is my question, how come, I've been through this 3 times at least now, okay, maybe 4. How come the stuff is like I've never read it before? You know, when that's the miracle, like, I guess it's because what you're looking at is what you're looking with, and I'm changing, and it becomes more and more profound as I go on. But that's an easy, relatively easy practice that I would absolutely recommend to anyone who likes to read.
Just a quick answer to that. I'm a course student also. Just to dovetail on that, I've read it through the text and the lessons about 4 or 5 times. And each time I've read the course, it's like, what? I don't remember reading that. It's because I wasn't ready for that message. And as I grasped the messages that I needed to grasp and went through it again, then what I didn't get, what didn't sink in, was clearer. And that's one thing I like about the course. But the question is that I have for the panel, how has the idea of choice changed for you before and after? And I guess I'm thinking from an egoic choice to more of